just watching the video, you were right, Katrina, that I couldn't take my eyes off of it, because seeing everyone so happy just makes you feel good. And because I know all the hard work that's gone into it, not only from the board down, right through the club, and also from the players. They worked ever so hard all season, and they deserve all the success they got.
Now, after the match, there was a lot of very emotional scenes on the pitch. Your wife Angela was there with your girls on the pitch. How important and how special was it to share the moment with them?
Yeah, it was great to see. I think everyone in here was on the pitch. I think every single person was there hugging us, so that was great. That doesn't normally happen. They have so many people on the field for grand final, but for me personally, to be able to share it with my family, because I've lived away from them for most of the year, 10 months of the year. So that was important, because they had to sacrifice for me to come and do something that I love doing, and that I'm so passionate about. And if I didn't have their support, then I wouldn't be able to coach. And it wasn't easy. I think my girls wanted me out of the house. I was 3 years with them, but my wife was a little bit less wanted to let me go. But yeah, it was great to be able to celebrate with them, but also all the families, because I saw all the families there, and they play a big part. People don't see the sacrifices that individuals make within a team, an organisation, and it's great that they could celebrate it with them.
I'm curious, you said before the first match of the season, we're going to be in the grand final. Have you had that type of confidence in the other two clubs you've coached? And if not, what did you see in this group to make that statement so early in the season?
I don't think I said it before the first game. We lost 1-0 to Victory.
No, but you...
I did say, look, I didn't know we were going to make the grand final from the first game. I knew we had a special group from pre-season. I knew that our pre-season was a good one, and that we had a group of players that weren't going to let anything get to them. They would adapt. People forget how the actual year was going. We had COVID, we had people in isolation, we had people that couldn't leave their state, we had people that couldn't come from overseas, and then when they come here, and then they want to go home again. So we had all these situations that within a club that, but not one of the players complained about anything. They just worked every single day, and sometimes, they weren't happy about the runs that they had to do, but they did it because they thought that was going to get them to a level to help them win. And so when you've got that as a group, then you've got every chance of success. But I did say after the Victory game, that we lost 1-0 in the first leg, that we're there, boys. We'll beat Victory and we'll go to the grand final.
Okay, absolutely spot on.
The bookies didn't believe we would. We were 25-1 at that stage, so that was if anyone bets, I hope you betted on that one.
I think a few of my friends got on. Yeah. John, what was the turning point? Because you went into the final series after hitting a bit of a flat spot in the season. How did you turn it around? The lessons that you learned against Phoenix in that elimination final, the approach to Melbourne Victory. Just give us an insight. Where was the turning point in the mentality and belief to get it done in the finals?
I think that the way that we trained and remained calm through the weeks in the finals, the players weren't panicking at all. They were calm. They knew that they had to follow our structures, which we spoke about. When you're playing in these big games and the nerves might kick in, you just fall back on your basic principles, and that's what the players did all the time. And we drove that, of course, and then the players drove it. That they didn't panic in any situation of any game in the finals, and I think you saw that when, in particular, when we were 1-0 up against Wellington, we should have been probably 4-0 up at half time, but we still held out. We didn't panic. We didn't go away from what we've been doing majority of the season, and that was staying together, making sure that we worked hard together, and that's what we stand for. And then the Victory game that we lost 1-0, the next game we're 1-0 up, dominating Victory. We go 1-1, another cracker of a goal from their player, and the players still believed. They didn't panic. They remained remain calm, and that's what you have to do in these big games. And you see that in the final as well, when that City had to come out and just push us because they had no other choice but to try. We didn't buckle. We stood together and remained strong. And Jason spoke about our values. The togetherness, the effort. That's with our players every day. The players know they have a special group. They've mentioned it all through the season, so they could feel it themselves.
Was that reflected on Josh Risdon playing through that early injury setback in the grand final, when he just sort of shrugged away the injury, and you didn't have Nikolai Topol-Stanley, there were other issues going on in midfield? You really sensed a rise in the levels and the belief of the players in that final series.
Yeah, but we had that all season, Bash. We had issues with players all season. I think the turning point of the season, I said in pre-season after a certain friendly game, I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, that the players, they reacted and they showed how strong they are. But the Boxing Day game that we lost 3-1 to Victory had their full strength side. We had 6 players out with COVID, and we gave them one hell of a game. And I said, that's us. No matter who we are playing against and who's playing for us, we will be able to compete with anyone. So we would have loved to have Diamante, Topol-Stanley, Rene Krhin, Lustica, Adisobeu all through the final series, but we didn't. But we didn't look for an excuse, and the players didn't. And the ones that stepped in did their job because they knew their job, because they worked every day for that moment and that opportunity, and they were ready for it.
Okay, just finally, the media department of Western United should take great credit because they put out some terrific content, including Dylan Wenzel-Hall's dancing in the change rooms. You've got some characters in your lot, haven't you? Let's be honest.
I've got plenty.
If it's not Alessandro Diamante's dress sense, there's a whole range of other things going on.
I did hear that Dylan Wenzel-Hall's is going to sing for us all tonight.
Right.
I can see he's already standing up on the chair.
Maybe The Voice?
You don't want to hear him sing, believe me.
John, final question. Setting such a platform of excellence and expectation is not an easy act to follow. How do you then encapsulate what's been achieved this season to set the goals for the coming?
Another value, growth. We keep on trying to improve. We keep on trying to get better, and we don't stand still. We can't, because we know that every other club will try and improve, and we're no different. And already you asked what I was doing the last few days. We're having meetings with everyone because we're preparing for next season. We're already preparing. We already want to make sure that we hit the ground running come pre-season time because we want to be there again. This is a start of something special for the club, because this club, it's only 3 years old. It's incredible. I know a lot of people have spoken about it, but truly, after a few years, you'll probably realise how incredible this is. There's no other sporting, I don't think, franchise that's done this in Australian history. Not only in football, but in any other sport. So to do that so quickly, we want to keep doing it because we know that this club's going to grow. We know that the stadium's going to, everyone is going to be in green and black at our stadium. There's going to be 15,000 people there every week wanting tickets to come to our games. So we want to keep on doing this, so then we keep on growing as an organisation.